I want to reveal to you why these words hold such tremendous power and how you can use them to manifest everything you've ever desired. You see, most people spend their entire lives searching outside themselves for power, for permission, for validation. They believe their desires must be achieved through hard work, struggle, and external forces. But I tell you this, all power resides within your own consciousness. When you declare, I am the power, you are acknowledging the fundamental truth of existence. You are recognizing that the force that moves the stars and grows the flowers is the same force that flows through your consciousness. Let me tell you something profound about these 4 words. When you speak them, you're not making a mere affirmation. You're declaring your true nature, your essential being. You're acknowledging the creative force within you. Consider this. Every great achievement in human history began with someone recognizing their inner power. They didn't wait for external permission. They didn't seek validation from others. They understood that all power flows from within. You see, most people have it backwards. They say, when I have this, then I will be powerful. But I tell you this, you must first assume your power, and then all things become possible. These 4 words, I am the power, are not just words to be spoken. They must be felt. They must be lived. They must become your dominant state of consciousness. Let me share with you what happens when you truly embody these words. The entire universe must reorganize itself to reflect your new self-concept. This is not metaphysics. This is law. Most of you sit here tonight thinking about what you want to manifest. But I tell you this, manifestation is not about getting something you don't have. It's about revealing what already exists within your consciousness. When you declare, I am the power, you're not creating power. You're acknowledging what has always been true. This recognition changes everything. Your entire world must shift to align with this declaration. You see, most people approach manifestation like beggars, hoping and wishing for their desires to be granted. But when you know I am the power, you approach life as a creator, knowing that what you decree must manifest. Let me share something profound about consciousness. Your consciousness is the only reality. Everything you see in your world is simply consciousness made visible. Therefore, when you declare I am the power, you're literally reshaping your entire universe. Think about this. Every morning when you wake up, you're either reinforcing your powerlessness or claiming your power. There's no neutral position. Every thought, every feeling, every assumption is either aligning with I am the power or denying it. You see, these 4 words are not just a positive affirmation. They are a recognition of the fundamental truth of your being. When you truly grasp this, manifestation becomes as natural as breathing. Most of you have been taught to look for power in external circumstances, in money, in relationships, in social status. But I tell you this, all these things are merely effects. The cause lies in your consciousness. Consider what happens when you truly know, I am the power. You no longer beg, you no longer plead, you no longer hope. You simply decree, and by law, your decree must manifest. Let me share with you why these words are so transformative. When you declare, I am the power, you're shifting your entire self-concept. You're no longer seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances, but as the creator of circumstances. You see, most people spend their lives reacting to what they see. But when you know I am the power, you understand that what you see is simply your consciousness pushed out. Therefore, to change what you see, you must change your consciousness. Think about this. Every great achievement began with someone knowing they were the power. They didn't wait for conditions to change. They changed conditions by changing their consciousness. Let me share with you what happens in the depths of consciousness. When you truly embody these 4 words, your entire world begins to reorganize itself to match your new self-concept. You see, Most people believe their circumstances dictate their state of being. But when you declare, I am the power, you reverse this process. Your state of being now dictates your circumstances. Consider this. Every moment of your life, you're either expressing power or expressing limitation. There is no middle ground. When you truly grasp these 4 words, you cease giving power to external conditions. Let me tell you something profound about manifestation. When you know I am the power, you stop asking how things will manifest. You understand that the power that knows the way will make the way. Most of you sit here tonight thinking about your problems, your limitations, your obstacles. But I tell you this, these are merely shadows cast by a consciousness that has forgotten I am the power. You see, when you truly embody these 4 words, you enter a new dimension of being. In this dimension, problems don't need to be solved. They simply dissolve in the light of your consciousness. Think about this. Everything you see in your world right now is the result of your previous concepts about yourself. Change the concept by knowing I am the power, and your world must change. Let me share with you the true meaning of these words. When you declare I am the power, you're not making a positive statement. You're acknowledging your true identity. Most of you have been taught to look for causes outside yourself. But when you know I am the power, you understand that you are the only cause in your world. Consider this carefully. Every condition in your life right now is simply a shadow of your consciousness. When you truly know I am the power, you cease fighting shadows and start changing consciousness. Let me tell you about the transformative nature of these 4 words. When you declare I am the power, you're not just changing your thoughts. You're changing the very foundation of your reality. You see, most people live their entire lives believing they're victims of circumstances. But when you truly embody I am the power, you understand that circumstances are merely reflections of consciousness. Consider what happens when you wake up each morning knowing I'm the power. Suddenly, obstacles become opportunities. Problems become possibilities. Every challenge becomes a chance to demonstrate your creative power. Let me share something profound about these words. When you declare I am the power, you're not making a future promise. You're claiming a present reality. This distinction changes everything. Most of you sit here thinking about what you want to create in your future. But I tell you this, there is no future creation. There is only present assumption. When you know I am the power, you understand that what you assume now must manifest. You see, these 4 words are not just a statement. They are a complete shift in consciousness. When you truly embody them, you cease looking outside yourself for anything. Think about this. Every time you say, I can't, or it's too difficult, you're denying these 4 words. You're giving your power away to external conditions. Let me tell you what happens when you consistently maintain this consciousness. Your entire world must reshape itself to reflect your new self-concept. Most of you have spent years accumulating evidence of your limitations. But when you know I am the power, you understand that all past evidence is irrelevant. Only your present assumption matters. Consider this. Every great achievement in your life began with a shift in consciousness. When you knew you could, you did. These 4 words simply make this knowing permanent. Let me share with you something profound about these 4 words that most will never understand. When you declare, I am the power, you're not just making a statement. You're activating the very force that created the universe. You see, most people spend their lives waiting for permission to be powerful. They wait for the right circumstances, the right credentials, the right moment. But I tell you this, the only permission you need is your own recognition that I am the power. Consider what happens in your world when you truly embody these words. Your relationships change because you no longer seek power from others. Your work transforms because you no longer depend on external validation. Your entire life shifts because you're operating from a new dimension of consciousness. Let me tell you about the subtle shift that occurs when you consistently maintain this state. You stop asking, when will my desire manifest? Because you understand that manifestation is not a future event. It's a present moment recognition. Most of you have been taught that power is something to be acquired. But when you declare I am the power, you understand that power is your natural state. Everything else is learned powerlessness. You see, these 4 words challenge everything you've been taught about. Cause and effect. When you know I am the power, you understand that consciousness is the only cause and everything else is effect. Think about this. Every time you say I hope or I wish, you're denying these 4 words. You're placing power outside yourself in some future event or external circumstance. Let me share with you what happens when you maintain this consciousness consistently. Your entire world must rearrange itself to match your new self-concept. This is not theory, this is law. Most of you sit here tonight thinking about your past failures, your current limitations, your future obstacles. But I tell you this, all of these are merely shadows cast by a consciousness that has forgotten I am the power. Consider this. Every moment of your life, you're either expressing power or expressing limitation. There is no neutral ground. When you truly grasp these 4 words, you cease giving power to anything external. Let me reveal to you the deeper meaning behind these 4 words. When you declare I am the power, you're not making a casual statement. You're aligning yourself with the fundamental creative force of the universe. You see, most people live their entire lives believing that power lies in their actions, their resources, their connections. But I tell you this, all these are merely expressions of consciousness. When you know I am the power, your actions flow from this knowing. Consider what happens when you approach each day from this consciousness. You no longer wake up wondering what the day will bring. You wake up knowing that you bring to the day whatever you decree in consciousness. Let me tell you about the transformation that occurs when you live from these 4 words. You stop seeking validation from others because you understand that all validation comes from within. You stop fighting circumstances because you know that circumstances are merely shadows. Most of you have spent years trying to change effects while leaving the cause untouched. But when you declare, I am the power, you go straight to the cause, your own consciousness.
You see, these 4 words contain within them the secret of all creation. When you truly embody them, you understand that everything in your world is simply your consciousness pushed out.
Think about it. Every time you blame external conditions for your state, you're denying these 4 words. You're giving away your creative power to shadows. Let me share with you what happens when this consciousness becomes natural to you. You stop asking, how will this happen? Because you understand that the power that knows the way will make the way. Most of you sit here thinking about what's possible and what's impossible. But I tell you this, possibility and impossibility exist only in consciousness. When you know I am the power, all things become possible. Consider this. Every limitation in your life right now exists only because you've accepted it in consciousness. When you truly embody these 4 words, all limitations dissolve. Let me share with you something profound about these 4 words that will forever change how you view manifestation. When you declare I am the power, you're not just speaking words. You're awakening to your true identity. You see, most people spend their lives seeking power through achievement, through accumulation, through recognition. But I tell you this, all seeking ends when you realize that you are what you've been seeking. Consider what happens when you truly grasp these words. You stop looking for signs, you stop waiting for permission, you stop seeking approval, because when you know I am the power, what else could you possibly need? Let me tell you about the shift that occurs in your relationships when you embody these words. You no longer need others to complete you. to validate you, to empower you. You become complete within yourself, and paradoxically, this completeness attracts more fulfilling relationships. Most of you have been taught that power comes from doing. But when you declare, "I'm the power," you understand that power comes from being. Your doing then flows naturally from your being. You see, these 4 words revolutionize your entire approach to manifestation. You stop trying to make things happen and start allowing them to unfold from your consciousness. Think about this. Every time you say, "I'll try," or "I hope," you're actually denying your power. You're placing the fulfillment of your desires in some uncertain future. Let me share with you what happens. When you maintain this consciousness consistently, your entire world must reshape itself to reflect this new self-concept. This is not magic, this is law. Most of you sit here tonight thinking about what you need to do to manifest your desires. But I tell you this, manifestation is not about doing, it's about being. When you know I am the power, the doing takes care of itself. Consider this. Every great achievement in history began with someone knowing their power. They didn't wait for conditions to be perfect. They understood that conditions respond to consciousness, you see. Most people spend their lives in reaction mode, responding to circumstances, adapting to conditions. But I tell you this, when you know I am the power, you create circumstances, you determine conditions. Consider what happens when you approach each moment from this consciousness. You no longer see problems as obstacles. You see them as opportunities to demonstrate your creative power. Let me tell you about the transformation that occurs in your financial world when you embody these words. Money ceases to be something you chase and becomes something you attract through your consciousness of abundance. Most of you have been programmed to believe that success requires struggle. But when you declare, "I am the power," you understand that success is simply the natural expression of your consciousness. You see, these 4 words completely transform your relationship with time. When you truly know I am the power, you cease postponing your good to some future date. Think about this. Every time you say, "When I have this, then I'll be powerful," you're denying your present power. You're placing your power in external conditions. Let me share with you what happens when this consciousness becomes your natural state. Your entire experience of reality shifts. What seemed impossible becomes inevitable. Most of you sit here tonight thinking about your past failures, your present limitations, your future uncertainties. But I tell you this, all these are merely shadows cast by a consciousness that has forgotten its power. Consider this. Every moment of your life, you're either expressing power or expressing limitation. There's no middle ground. When you truly grasp these 4 words, you cease giving power to anything external. Let me share with you the final and most crucial understanding about these 4 words. When you declare, "I am the power," you are making the ultimate declaration of independence from all external influences. You see, tonight marks a turning point in your life. From this moment forward, you will never again see yourself as powerless. You will never again give your power away to circumstances, to other people, or to past experiences. Consider this moment right now. As you sit here absorbing these words, you have a choice. You can continue living as you have been, seeing power as something outside yourself. Or you can claim your true identity by knowing I am the power. Let me tell you what your world will look like when you fully embody these words. Everything that once seemed like an obstacle will become a stepping stone. Every challenge will become an opportunity to demonstrate your creative power. Most of you came here tonight seeking answers. But I tell you this, the only answer you need is already within you. It is the knowing, the absolute conviction that I am the power. You see, these 4 words are not just a technique or a method. They are a complete revolution in consciousness. When you truly embody them, your entire world must transform. Think about tomorrow morning when you wake up. Will you rise as the same person who came here tonight? Or will you rise knowing I am the power, ready to create your day consciously? Let me share with you this final truth. There's no power outside of you. There never was and there never will be. All power resides in consciousness, and you are that consciousness. From this moment forward, let every breath you take be a reminder that I am the power. Let every heartbeat affirm this truth. Let every step you take be from this consciousness. Remember, you are not becoming powerful. You are simply recognizing what has always been true. You are the power that creates worlds. You are the power that moves mountains. You are the power that transforms lives. Tonight, make this sacred commitment to yourself. Promise that you will never again deny your power. Promise that you will never again give your power away. Promise that you will live every moment from the consciousness that I am the power. For this promise lies your freedom. In this recognition lies your transformation. In this knowing lies everything you have ever desired. Go forth now, not as seekers, but as knowers, not as hopeful dreamers, but as conscious creators, not as victims of circumstances, but as mine. For when you know, truly know, I am the power, nothing in this world can stand against you. Nothing can deny you. Nothing can limit you. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your power. Now rise up and claim it. Rise up and live it. Rise up and be it. For you are the power. You have always been the power. And you will always be the power. Let this be your final understanding, your ultimate truth, your eternal knowing. I am the power. And so it is, ladies and gentlemen. The topic of our discussion is I am rich, I abundant. Money affirmations for prosperity, happiness and wealth. Now let us embark on this journey of understanding and revelation together. First and foremost, I want you to understand that the words I am are the most powerful in any language. They are your self-definition, your concept of self. Whatever follows, I am shapes your reality. So when you declare, I am rich and abundant, you are setting in motion a divine principle that cannot fail to manifest in your world. You see, my dear friends, the universe is mental. It is responsive to your thoughts and feelings. Your consciousness is the only reality. What you perceive as your physical reality is nothing more than an outward picture of your inner assuming. Therefore, to change your world, you must change your concept of self. Now let us delve deeper into this principle. When you say, I am rich and abundant, you are not merely repeating words. You are making a declaration to the universe. You are impressing your subconscious mind with the new concept of self. And your subconscious mind, being impersonal, will accept this new concept and begin to work tirelessly to bring it into manifestation. But remember, it's not enough to simply say the words. You must feel the truth of them. You must live from the end. What do I mean by this? I mean that you must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You must feel now what you would feel if you were already rich and abundant. Imagine for a moment that you are indeed rich and abundant. How would you feel? Would you feel secure, confident, generous? Allow yourself to fully embody these feelings. For it is the feeling that gives life to your words. It is a feeling that impresses your subconscious mind. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, I'm not rich. I have bills to pay. I have debts. How can I feel rich when my current reality shows me otherwise? And to this I say, your current reality is nothing but the harvest of your past thoughts and feelings. It has no power over your future, unless you give it power by continuing to dwell on it. Instead, I urge you to live in the end. Make your future dream a present fact by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. For assumption, though false to the outer world, if persisted in, will harden into fact. Let me share with you a principle that has transformed countless lives. It's called the law of reversibility. This law states that if a certain state produces a certain outer condition, then that outer condition must, in turn, produce that state. In other words, if feeling rich produces wealth, then wealth must produce the feeling of being. Now here's the case. You don't have to wait for the outer condition to feel the inner state. You can start now. You can feel rich now, regardless of your current bank balance. And as you persist in this feeling, you will begin to see your outer world change to match your inner state. This, my friends, is the true secret of wealth creation. It's not about working harder or smarter. It's about changing your concept of self. It's about embodying the state of wealth and abundance now, in your imagination. Remember, your imagination is the gateway to the subconscious. What you imagine with feeling, your subconscious accepts as reality. And once your subconscious accepts something as reality, it begins to work day and night to bring it into manifestation. Do you imagine yourself as rich and abundant? Can you feel the security, the freedom, the joy that comes with true wealth? Can you walk through your day, interact with others, make decisions from the standpoint of being wealthy? If you can do this, if you can live in the end, feeling the reality of being rich and abundant now, then I tell you truly, wealth and abundance must come to you. It is law. Now let's talk about the power of affirmations. When you say, I'm rich and abundant, you are not trying to convince yourself of something that isn't true. You are declaring a spiritual truth. You are aligning yourself with the infinite abundance of the universe. You see, abundance is your natural state. The universe is infinitely abundant. And you, being one with the universe, are also infinitely abundant. Any lack you perceive in your life is simply a misalignment with your true nature. By affirming, I'm rich and abundant, you are realigning yourself with your true nature. You are claiming your divine inheritance. You are stepping into the flow of universal abundance. But remember, affirmations are not magic spells. They're not about repeating words mindlessly. They're about feeling the truth of the words. They're about embodying the state you desire. When you say, I am rich or abundant, feel the truth of it in every cell of your body. Feel the excitement, the gratitude, the joy of being rich and abundant. Let this feeling permeate your entire being. And as you do this, watch how your world begins to change. Watch how opportunities for wealth creation begin to appear in your life. Watch how your relationship with money transforms. You see, when you truly feel rich and abundant, you begin to make decisions from a place of abundance rather than lack. You begin to see opportunities where before you saw only obstacles. You begin to attract people and circumstances that align with your new concept of self. Now let's address a common misconception. Many people believe that to be spiritual, one must reject material wealth. They believe that money is somehow unspiritual or dirty. But I tell you this, such beliefs are not based on truth. They are based on a misunderstanding of the nature of the universe. The universe is abundant. Nature is abundant. Look at a single apple tree producing hundreds of apples, each containing multiple seeds, each seed capable of producing another tree. This is the nature of the universe. And you, being one with the universe, are meant to experience this abundance in all areas of your life, including your finances. Money is simply a symbol of exchange. It is a tool. And like any tool, can be used for good or ill. But the tool itself is neutral. It is our consciousness that gives it meaning. When you declare, I am rich and abundant, you are not being greedy or materialistic. You are aligning yourself with the natural abundance of the universe. You are preparing yourself to be a channel through which abundance can flow, not just for yourself, but for others as well. For true wealth is not about hoarding. It's about flow. It's about giving as well as receiving. When you are truly rich and abundant, you have more to give. You have more resources to make a positive impact in the world. So I urge you, let go of any guilt or shame you may feel about desiring wealth. Embrace your desire for abundance. For in doing so, you're embracing your true nature. Now, let's talk about the importance of persistence. You see, when you begin to affirm, I am rich and abundant, you may not see immediate results in your outer world. Your bank account may not instantly overflow, but do not be discouraged. Remember, you are working with law. Just as a farmer doesn't plant a seed and expect to harvest the next day, you must give your new concept of self time to bear fruit. The seed has been planted in your subconscious mind. Your job now is to nurture it, to water it with your continued assumption, your continued feeling of being rich and abundant. This is where many people fail. They start with enthusiasm, affirming their new state. But when they don't see immediate results, they give up. They revert to their old concept of self, their old patterns of thinking and feeling. But I tell you this, persistence is key. You must persist in your new assumption until it hardens into fact. You must live from your desired state, regardless of appearances, until your outer world conforms to your inner conviction. Remember, your outer world is nothing but a reflection of your inner state. It may take time for your outer world to catch up with your new inner state. But if you persist, if you remain faithful to your new concept of self, your outer world must change. It's law. So I ask you, can you persist in the assumption that you are rich and abundant, even when your senses deny it? Can you continue to feel wealthy and prosperous, even when your bank account says otherwise? Can you live from the end, feeling the joy and gratitude of being rich and abundant, even before it manifests in your physical reality? If you can do this, if you can persist in your new assumption, then I promise your world will change. Your reality will reshape itself to match your inner conviction. Now, let's discuss another important aspect of manifesting wealth and abundance. Detachment. This may seem paradoxical. How can you desire wealth and abundance and yet be detached from it? But this detachment is crucial to your success. You see, attachment creates resistance. When you are overly attached to a specific outcome, when you are constantly checking to see if it has manifested, you are actually pushing it away. You are coming from a place of lack, of not having, which contradicts your affirmation of abundance. Instead, cultivate a state of calm knowing. Know that you are rich and abundant, not because you see it in your bank account, but because it is your true nature. Know that wealth is flowing to you through you and from you, not because you need it to be happy, but because it is the natural expression of who you are. This detachment allows you to live joyfully in the present moment, rather than constantly projecting into a future where you will finally be rich. When you can be happy and content now, regardless of your external circumstances, you open yourself up to receive even more abundance. Remember, the universe responds to your vibration, your state of being. When you vibrate at the frequency of lack and need, you attract more experiences that match that vibration. But when you vibrate at the frequency of abundance and gratitude, you attract experiences that match that higher vibration. So I urge you, as you affirm, I am rich and abundant, so from a place of calm knowing, of joyful detachment, know that you are aligning yourself with your true nature and trust that the outer manifestation will follow in divine timing. Now, let's delve deeper into the concept of money itself. Many of you may have negative associations with money. Perhaps you've been taught that money is the root of all evil, or that rich people are inherently greedy or unspirited. These beliefs, whether conscious or subconscious, can create resistance to the very abundance you're trying to manifest. So let's reframe our understanding of money. Money, in its essence, is simply energy. It's a tool for exchange, a symbol of value. Like any tool, it can be used for good or ill, depending on the consciousness of the user. When you affirm, I am rich abundant, you're not just calling for more pieces of paper or numbers in a bank account. You're aligning yourself with the energy of abundance, with the free flow of value and resources. Imagine money as a river of abundance. This river is always flowing, always abundant. The only question is, are you standing in this river, allowing it to flow to you and through you, or are you standing on the shore, watching it flow by? When you truly embody the state of being rich and abundant, you're stepping into this river. You're allowing abundance to flow to you, through you, and from you. You become a conduit for abundance, not just a receiver of it. This understanding transforms your relationship with money. Instead of seeing it as something scarce that you need to hoard, you see it as an abundant resource that flows freely when you're in alignment with it. So I ask you, can you release your old limiting beliefs about money? Can you see it as the tool of abundance that it truly is? Can you step into the river of abundance, allowing it to flow freely in your life? As you contemplate these questions, I want you to really feel into the state of being rich and abundant. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself surrounded by abundance in all forms. Not just money, but love, health, opportunities, experiences. Feel the joy, the freedom, the security that comes with true abundance. Now open your eyes. Carry this feeling with you throughout your day. Let it inform your thoughts, your words, your actions. For this feeling is the key to manifesting the abundance you desire. Let's now talk about the role of gratitude in manifesting wealth and abundance. Gratitude is a powerful force that aligns you with the frequency of abundance. When you're truly grateful, you're acknowledging that you already have enough, that you're already abundant. This might seem counterintuitive. You might think, but if I'm grateful for what I have, won't that prevent me from receiving more? Not at all. In fact, the opposite is true. Gratitude opens you up to receive even more abundance. You see, the universe responds to your dominant thoughts and feelings. When you're constantly focused on what you lack, you're vibrating at the frequency of lack, and you attract more experiences of lack. But when you're grateful for what you have, you're vibrating at the frequency of abundance, and you attract more experiences of abundance. So as you affirm, I am rich abundant, do so from a place of deep gratitude. Be grateful for the abundance you already have in your life, no matter how small it may seem. Be grateful for the abundance that is on its way to you. Be grateful for your ability to co-create with the universe. This gratitude will amplify your affirmations, making them even more powerful. It will align you more fully with the state of being rich and abundant. Now let's address another important aspect of manifesting wealth and abundance. Action. Some people misunderstand the law of assumption, thinking that if they simply assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, they can sit back and wait for abundance to magically appear in their lives. But this is not how the law works. Yes, assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled is crucial. But this assumption should inspire and guide your actions, not replace them. When you truly embody the state of being rich and abundant, you will naturally be inspired to take actions that align with this state. You'll make different decisions, see different opportunities, interact with people differently. For example, someone who truly feels rich and abundant might be inspired to start a business, invest in themselves or others, or give generously to causes they believe in. They might be drawn to learn more about wealth creation, to network with successful people, or to upgrade their skills. The key is that these actions come from a place of inspired action, not desperate action. They come from a place of abundance, not lack. They are a natural expression of your new state of being, not a struggle to make something happen. So As you embody the state of being rich and abundant, what inspired actions are you drawn to take? What opportunities are you now seeing that you might have overlooked before? How are you showing up differently in your work, your relationships, your daily life? Remember, these actions don't need to be grand or dramatic. Small, consistent actions taken from a place of abundance can lead to profound changes over time. Now let's talk about the concept of circulation. In nature, everything circulates. Air circulates, water circulates, energy circulates, wealth is no different. It's meant to circulate, to flow. Many people, when they start to accumulate some wealth, hold on to it tightly out of fear of losing it. But this tight grip actually constricts the flow of abundance. It comes from a mindset of scarcity, not abundance. When you truly embody the state of being rich and abundant, you understand that wealth is meant to flow. You're not afraid to spend money on things that bring you joy or add value to your life. You're not afraid to invest in yourself or others. You're not afraid to give generously. This doesn't mean being reckless or wasteful. It means trusting in the abundant nature of the universe. It means knowing that as you allow wealth to flow out, you open yourself up to receive even more. Think of it like breathing. You need to exhale to make room for the next inhale. In the same way, allowing wealth to flow out creates space for more to flow in. How can you allow wealth to circulate more freely in your life? How can you loosen your grip on money, trusting in the abundant flow of the universe? As we continue our exploration of wealth and abundance, let's discuss the importance of self-worth. You see, your external reality is a reflection of your internal state. If you don't believe you're worthy of wealth and abundance, you'll subconsciously sabotage your efforts to create it. Many people have deep-seated beliefs that they're not good enough, not smart enough, or not deserving enough to be truly wealthy. These beliefs often stem from childhood experiences or societal conditioning. But I tell you this, these beliefs are not the truth of who you are. You are a divine being, created in the image and likeness of God. You are inherently worthy of all the abundance the universe has to offer. Your worth is not determined by your bank account, your job title, your possessions. Your worth is inherent, unchanging, and in it. So as you affirm I'm rich, abundant, also affirm your inherent worth. Know that you are deserving of wealth and abundance simply because you exist. Know that the universe delights in your joy and wants to support your highest good. This sense of self-worth will magnify the power of your affirmations. It will allow you to fully embody the state of being rich and abundant without self-doubt or self-sabotage. Now, let's address a common concern. Some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about the less fortunate? Isn't it selfish to focus on my own wealth and abundance when there's so much poverty in the world? This is a beautiful question, and it speaks to your compassionate nature. But I want you to consider, your impoverishment does not enrich anyone else. Your lack does not alleviate anyone else's lack. In fact, the opposite is true. When you embody the state of being rich and abundant, you become better equipped to help others. You have more resources to share, more knowledge to impart, more opportunities to create. Your abundance can become a blessing to many. Moreover, you demonstrate that it's possible to create wealth and abundance through the power of your imagination and assumption. You inspire others to do the same. You become a living example of what's possible, igniting hope and possibility in those around you. Remember, abundance is not a zero-sum game. There's more than enough for everyone. By claiming your abundance, you're not taking away from anyone else. You're simply aligning yourself with the infinite abundance of the universe. So I urge you, embrace your desire for wealth and abundance without guilt. Know that as you prosper, you become better equipped to contribute to the prosperity of others. Now, as we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to address the concept of divine timing. Some of you may be wondering, how long will it take for my affirmations to manifest? When will I see the results? The truth is, there's no set timeline for manifestation. The seed you plant in your subconscious mind will germinate and grow in divine timing. Your job is not to worry about when or how your desire will manifest, but to remain faithful to your assumption. Remember, time is a construct of the human mind. In the realm of spirit, where all creation takes place, there is no time. Your desire is already fulfilled in the spiritual realm. Your job is to align your consciousness with this spiritual reality until it manifests in your physical reality. So don't become anxious or doubtful if you don't see immediate results. Don't keep checking your bank account or looking for signs that it's working. This doubt and anxiety only serve to negate your affirmations. Instead, rest in the calm assurance that what you've assumed in your imagination must come to pass. Live each day from the state of being rich and abundant, regardless of appearances. Trust in the law, knowing that it never fails. As we come to the close of our discussion, I want to leave you with this final thought. You are the operant power in your world. Your consciousness is the only reality. What you assume to be true, what you feel to be real, must manifest in your world. The words "I am rich and abundant" are not just a phrase to be repeated. They are a state to be embodied, a truth to be lived. As you consistently assume this state, as you live from this truth, you will see your outer world reshape itself to match your inner conviction. Remember, this is not about forcing or struggling. It's about aligning yourself with your true nature, with the abundant essence of the universe. It's about remembering who you really are, a divine being, infinitely worthy, inherently abundant. So go forth from this place with a new understanding. Know that wealth and abundance are your birthright. Know that you have the power to create the life you desire. Know that as you prosper, you become a beacon of possibility for others. Carry the word "I'm rich and abundant" not just in your mind, but in your heart. Feel the truth of them in every cell of your body. Let them inform your thoughts, your words, your actions. Live from this state and watch as miracles unfold in your life. And always remember, the greatest gift you can give to the world is the fullest expression of yourself. As you step into your abundance, as you allow wealth to flow freely in your life, you give others permission to do the same. You become a living testament to the abundance of the universe. So I say to you one final time, you are rich, you are abundant. This is the truth of your being. Embrace it, live it, and watch as your world transforms before your very eyes. Thank you for your attention. May you go forth and create a life of boundless wealth, prosperity, and abundance. The power is within you. The time is now. You are the miracle you've been waiting for. Embrace your divine inheritance and let your light shine brightly for all to see.